What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade JJ Williams, and today we enter the 60s as part of the Silver Age of the Walt Disney Animation Studios films, and I'm going to discuss from 1961 101 Dalmatians, featuring the voice talents of Rod Taylor, Kate Bauer, Betty Lou Gerson, Ben Wright, Lisa Davis, J. Pat O'Malley, Thurl Ravenscroft, Barbara Luddy, and Paul Frees. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here once again for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. And as I said during the introduction, today we exit the 50s and we begin the 1960s as we continue through the Silver Age of the Walt Disney Animation Studios films. Today's another classic, 101 Dalmatians from 1961. Let's get right into it here, shall we? Our story takes place in London, England, where aspiring songwriter Roger Radcliffe lives in a bachelor pad with his Dalmatian dog, Pongo. Pongo feels that Roger is kind of stuck and needs a change in his life. So Pongo watches women walk their dogs on the street, looking for a suitable match for both he and Roger. He ends up spotting a woman named Anita with her Dalmatian dog, Perdita. Pongo drags Roger to the park in order to try to arrange a meeting. Roger and Anita fall in love, get married, as do Pongo and Perdita. The family ends up hiring a nanny and moves to Regent's Park. Perdita becomes pregnant with a litter of puppies when Anita's spoiled, fur-obsessed former schoolmate, Cruella de Vil, stops by and irritates the happy family. Roger ends up writing a jazzy song as a way to make fun of her. And when the puppies are born, one puppy appears to be stillborn, but Roger is able to save its life. Cruella barges in once again and this time demands to buy the puppies. Roger stands up to her and tells her that the puppies are not for sale. Cruella exits the home, furious, and vows her revenge. A few months later, Nanny puts the puppies to bed after an evening of watching television, while Pongo and Perdita go for a walk with Roger and Anita. Enter Horace and Jasper Baden, two burglars hired by Cruella who pose as men from the electric company and steal the puppies. In response, Roger and Anita enlist Scotland Yard and put advertisements in all the newspapers. Both Roger and Scotland Yard suspect the villainous Cruella de Vil, but they can't find any proof. The Dalmatians contact Danny, the Great Dane, who uses the Twilight Bark gossip chain in order to pass the request for help to all the dogs over England. In Suffolk, old Towser, a bloodhound, passes the word on to the colonel, a sheepdog, and his cat friend, Sergeant Tibbs. They investigate the nearby old DeVille place, where puppies had been heard barking just 2 days earlier. Sergeant Tibbs sneaks inside and is nearly killed by Jasper, but he manages to escape and sends word back to London via the colonel that the puppies have been found. Pongo and Perdita force their way out of a back window and begin a long cross-country journey, crossing over a flooded and icy river and running through the snow towards Suffolk. Meanwhile, Cruella finds Jasper and Horace and informs them that the police are hot on their trail. She orders them to kill and skin all the Dalmatian puppies by daybreak. After she leaves, Sergeant Tibbs helps the puppies escape through a hole in the wall, but Horace and Jasper pursue them. The colonel meets up with Pongo and Perdita and tells them about Cruella's desires. Pongo and Perdita attack Jasper and Horace and demolish part of the house, giving the puppies a chance to flee. Pongo and Perdita are then reunited with their litter of puppies at the Colonel and Tibbs's home farm, only to discover that now there are 84 more puppies with them. Upon discovering that Cruella had intended to make Dalmatian fur coats out of the puppies, Pongo and Perdita take all 99 pups home with them. The Dalmatians begin their trek back home, pursued by Jasper and Horace. The water has frozen to ice, so the dogs decide to take the creeks in order to avoid leaving tracks. They take shelter from the blizzard in a dairy farm, thanks to a friendly collie and some cows. And once the storm dies down, the dogs make their way to Dinsford, where a black Labrador is awaiting them in a blacksmith shop. Cruella, Jasper, and Horace all catch up with the Dalmatians when Pongo has a brilliant idea. He has all the puppies, as well as Perdita and himself, roll around in a city fireplace in order to disguise themselves as black Labradors. The Labrador that's helping them gets them to board a moving van bound for London, but some melting snow falls on Lucky and exposes him. Cruella sees this and then pursues the moving van and attempts to ram the vehicle, while Horace and Jasper in their truck attempt the same thing. But they accidentally smash into Cruella's car, sending both of their vehicles into a ditch. The moving van is able to return to London, while Cruella throws a temper tantrum. Jasper has finally had enough and tells Cruella to shut up. Back in London, Roger, Anita, and Nanny, sad that the dogs have seemingly ran off, try to celebrate Christmas and the wealth that they have acquired thanks to Roger's song about Cruella having become a big radio hit, when out of nowhere, the Dalmatians fled the house, still covered in soot. Upon cleaning the dogs off from the soot and seeing how many there are now, Roger decides to use the money from his hit song to buy a big house in the country, forming a Dalmatian plantation. 101 Dalmatians, man, that's another really good, solid, classic Disney animated film. And the song, Cruella de Vil, is so perfectly written for the dastardly and villainous woman. And it doesn't really matter where you hear that song, whether it's in the movie or if you hear a cover version of it. The song just gives you chills when it describes the nastiness of Cruella. Personally, I like the Selena Gomez cover that came out about 10, maybe even 15 years ago now. It's been that long. But when she was still big with the Disney crowd and doing Wizards of Waverly Place, she did a cover of Cruella de Vil. It's a real rockin' version, and I really enjoyed that version along with the version from this film. But 101 Dalmatians, man, Cruella is just one of those villains, kind of like Maleficent. You know, I know that there's a live action Cruella movie out there now, and it gives a little bit of backstory into her character, much the way that Maleficent did with that character. But honestly, they're two characters that I'd really rather not have background and motivation for. They're just evil for the sake of evil. And I kind of like that mystique about them, even though I did enjoy the Maleficent film and getting a little bit of that backstory. I feel like it wasn't needed. You know what I mean? Like, you can still enjoy what they put out there and the additional information and still feel that it was unnecessary. And that's how I kind of feel about that. As of this filming, I have yet to see the Cruella film, but I have heard from multiple people that it's really good, very much in the vein of The Devil Wears Prada, The Devil Wears Dalmatians, essentially. So I'm sure eventually I will check it out. Maybe I'll even review it. Maybe at some point I'll do live action Disney movies or animated studios live action remakes and cover all of those that have come. But when it comes to my rating for 101 Dalmatians, 4 out of 5 stars. The film is so good. And this one, along with a couple others I'm going to get to here in the next couple of days, I actually got to watch with my niece. So re-experiencing these with a child, a 6-year-old, is just so awesome to kind of like relive these movies through their eyes. And I really got to enjoy that with this and with a couple others that I'm going to get to here in the next couple days. But 4 out of 5 stars for 101 Dalmatians. That's my official rating. Make sure you guys get out there on the social media. Try to get those hashtags trending. Hashtag Casa D18 Studios, hashtag Renegades Reviews, hashtag Renegade Returns, and of course, the ever popular hashtag Shenanigans. We interrupt this episode of Renegades Reviews for an important announcement about
merchandising.
Merchandising? What's that?
Merchandising. Come, I'll show you. Merchandising, where the real money's made.
Make sure you go over to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network for all the t-shirts you see here from the West Coast professor, Jeff Meacham himself. You can get shirts for the Jeff Meacham Network, Talk Wrestling, as well as the red and gold Meachamania shirts. And while you're there, don't forget to get your shirts of the Casa D18 Studios Brotherhood, the Dads on Wrestling shirt, the Renegade J.J. Williams, Statboy Sports Bar, and the hashtag Statboy Approved shirt. Make sure you go over to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network and score your shirts today. Make sure you guys get out there. Do what that commercial just told you. Go to teespring.com/stores/Jeff Meacham Network for all the official merchandise of the Casa D18 Studios Brotherhood. Get you your Renegade J.J. Williams shirt, Dad's Not Always on Wrestling, Statboy Sports Bar, hashtag Statboy Approved, hashtag Shenanigans. Get you your official merchandise of the Jeff Meacham Network, 3 different designs of the Jeff Meacham Network logo for you to choose from, along with Talk Wrestling, Meachamania, and so much more. Get out there and support the network and the Brotherhood. And while you're out there supporting, do what that ticker's telling you to do. If you enjoy my content, you enjoy the hard work that I do to provide you with brand new videos each and every day here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, go to that PayPal, send me a donation, or go to that link tree, purchase a movie off my Amazon wish list. Either way, I'll be eternally grateful for whatever you guys do. Keep in mind, I'm not monetized right now, so I'm not making any money off of these YouTube videos. I'm trying to get my viewer hours up so that I can eventually monetize. But until then, the only way that I'm going to make money off of these is if you guys go to that PayPal and send me a donation. However much you feel comfortable sending, I'll greatly appreciate it. Or if you don't feel comfortable doing that, go to that link tree, purchase a movie off the Amazon wish list. When it comes and I open it live on Renegade Recap during the movie mail segment, I'll give you a quick shout out. Thank you live on the air for providing me with it. And then once I'm finally able to work it into my monthly reviews, fit it into whatever theme I can fit it in, I'll give you another shout out when I film that episode and air it. That way you guys get to be a little bit more interactive, a little bit more audience participation as you guys watch the episodes. So get out there, help support me. Tomorrow, right back here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, make sure you tune in for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews when I discuss 1963's The Sword and the Stone, featuring the voice talents of Ricky Sorensen, Carl Swanson, Junius Matthews, Sebastian Cabot, Alan Napier, Thurl Ravenscroft, Richard Reitherman, and Robert Reitherman. You're not going to want to miss out tomorrow, right here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews when I tackle The Sword and the Stone. To all my loyal viewers watching the premiere live, leaving your comments over here, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it. All my loyal viewers watching the show a little bit later in the day, on demand, leaving your comments down here, thank you very much. I greatly appreciate it. I appreciate each and every one of you guys who tune in on a regular basis, a daily basis, to check out all my content here on the Casa D18 Studios channel and Renegades Reviews. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.